Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back?
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brian. With me always is...
Oh, I'm Mark.
And together we're talking shit. What'd you guys think about that new logo? That thing is badass.
New intro. Well, sort of.
New
logo. And guess what? And only good things have been happening for us here lately. Because check it out. Today, of all days, you know, it's Saturday, of course. It's in the evening, but we have a special guest. Somebody that, you know, I didn't think would be on here not this soon, but, you know, I'm very happy for it. Most people know him. Oh, actually, his name is Thom Mathews, by the way. And most people know him from Return of the Living Dead, part 1 and 2, where he played Freddy. I first got to know him as a little film called Friday the 13th, part 6, when he brought back Jason Voorhees.
Let's bring him on.
Let's bring him on.
There he is. He's Jason's killer, dude. We found him. We found him. Did you really kill Jason, though? I mean...
Well, technically, yes. He put him in the bottom of the lake. Correct. And they weren't sure how they were going to bring him back that time. But he's going to always be known as the person that brought Jason back, too.
You killed him and you brought him back. What were you thinking?
I wasn't thinking, but I run into Kane Hodder every now and again. And I think he owes his career to me, actually.
Kane,
some restitution for all the films he did after part 6.
I mean,
for me bringing him back.
Yeah,
that's right.
I loved seeing him as Jason also. But here on our show, we like to do one thing first before we start asking questions and stuff.
Yeah,
I
on this one. Sorry.
Yes, I know, but it's the most easiest question that we're going to ask you probably all day.
Okay.
How are you today?
I'm good. Very good. Thank you.
Perfect.
Well, first off, I'm going to say I'm very happy that you did decide to do our show. I'm a big fan. Unfortunately, I don't have no toys of yours because they don't make them. I mean, for NECA, at least
one of your pop dolls, and he is adamant that he's going to get.
Well, I mean, NECA. I'm not seeing NECA with any Tommy Jarvis or anything, but they make a damn one for Lori for all the
that's Jason and I fighting underwater, and that blue stream is air bubbles coming up. I've been trying to find that one. I signed a lot of them, but
I bet you that one's a lot of money too.
I think it's on eBay for a couple $100 right now.
Yeah.
Somebody just mailed me when I just signed it for him and sent it back to him.
I mean, it's interesting on some of the figures that I paid, how much I paid for them, but you know, some of them like you get Pamela.
You see that thing in the back? That thing right there?
Yeah.
That's a Freddy doll that somebody made.
Oh, cool.
Somebody made that for you?
Yeah.
That is great. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Now about 30 minutes, we have a video that we're going to play, and I have some pictures from actually Vengeance 2.
Okay.
That nobody's seen before. Now you might have while you were there, but there's some other ones.
Tom would have to see them because he's got to probably sign off on that stuff. Like, yeah, go ahead, put that on socials. I'm good with that.
Jason Brooks was nice enough to let me use a few of them.
What was it like working with Jason Brooks doing a fan film for Friday the 13th?
Well, he was great. Yeah, it was a great if you saw the first one, it's all about my character and so I was kind of in it, but not really showed up. So I decided to do the second one, and come in at the end, as you know. But it was a great experience, yeah. Being on screen with CJ again, that was a lot of fun.
I bet it was. I mean, especially most people, when they look at it, they don't realize that CJ was actually one of the Jasons, and in that one,
he was Jason. Wasn't he Jason from Friday the 13th Part 6? Right. CJ was.
He was
before
yeah. He was Part 6, the one I was in.
That's what I thought.
But he also played on there. He played as Jason's dad,
Elias Voorhees, his father. It's a little incestual, if you ask me.
And he played a good part, though. I mean, he did a good job.
Well, he was fantastic.
I mean, I like I like watching some of the fan films. So the first fan film I actually seen you reprise your role, I believe it was I'm probably wrong, but was Never Hike Alone.
That's correct.
Now, I heard a rumor. Tell me where I'm at in this rumor. Never Hike Alone 2. You come back, you reprise the role.
In Never Hike Alone?
2.
Yes. I mean,
there's part 2 coming?
Heavy in Never Hike Alone 2. We just finished filming about 4 weeks ago. It's going to blow your mind.
Yeah. I could just imagine. The first one was great. And that's
we
bring
back. We did a prequel too, Never Hike in the Snow, and Rick the Dick Cologne, who I locked up in Part 6. He was the deputy. Mm-hmm. He's now the sheriff of the town, so he's also in Never Hike Alone 2. He comes back.
Oh, so he don't like you, huh?
He's I'm not going to give you any spoilers. You got to see it, but there's a lot of firsts in Never Hike Alone 2.
Cool.
Now, I was talking with Cody Newton not too long ago.
Yeah.
And he gave me, or he told me that there was it was like one of those rumors floating around that if they were to do a third Vengeance, that it wouldn't be there at Camp Crystal Lake, that it would be in Haddonville. And it would be surrounding your family if they ever did it.
Huh. News to me.
I was like, interesting.
Something
but that would be interesting seeing you, take on Michael instead of Jason.
They cross over. That would be cool.
Has that crossed your mind? Was
Never.
Was there any talks? No?
Never heard of it.
It was just something.
Until tonight. Now it's a thing.
Yeah.
Well, come on, I would love to see it a thing.
Write a script now, that would be amazing, or even act in it. That would be kind of cool.
That I was just curious on. Do you ever get tired of just known really to be known as Tommy Jarvis?
No, not really. I mean, I get both of Return of the Living Dead. Some people.
Freddy and
I do the horror convention circuit, so that's a lot of fun. But some people realize, they love both movies, and then sometimes they're at my table and they realize that I'm in both of them. They didn't realize it before, so that's kind of fun.
Now I need 2 signatures.
Yeah, right.
One for each picture.
Yeah.
Now you started off on acting in soaps?
I started acting in. First thing I did was commercials. Did a slew of commercials, and then the first job I got was on Falcon Crest. That's how I got my SAG card. So that was a nighttime soap opera. And then what else? Oh, then I got Return of the Living Dead soon after that, so that was kind of cool.
Falcon Crest, that was like the talk of the town back when, my mom used to watch it, and my mom was like, oh my God, the 2 that she could not go without watching, Falcon Crest, Days of Our Lives.
Yeah.
Those were the 2. What's your role on Falcon Crest?
I was a guy at the pool rubbing oil on one of the female leads' back. That's
Lucky.
that's how I got my SAG card through Doris Saba, who was the casting director over at Lorimar, where I was working, where I had been working. I'd gone there to work at Lorimar, and they did Dallas and Knots Landing and Falcon Crest and Flamingo Road, if you remember any of those shows back in the 80s and 90s.
Falcon Crest, yeah.
And I was I worked for a department called Management Services. So I moved around a lot, and also the producers building. A lot of great people up there, and my goal was to get cast in something. It took me about a year and a half, but Doris Saba finally threw pity on me and gave me a walk on Falcon Crest.
So, can I ask how you got picked up then later for these horror roles? Because Falcon Crest is just more. It's more dramatic more than scary.
Yes, it's a nighttime soap, sure.
Yeah.
I was just a young actor trying to get a job and go to work. So, Return of the Living Dead script came along, and I read for it, and eventually landed the role, and then was being cast with the girl who would play Tina. I was reading with several actresses, and then Beverly Randolph ended up getting the role for that, and it was pretty cool. It was probably one of my favorite filming experiences ever. Not only because of Dan O'Bannon, but because of the cast, and we were able to rehearse for 2 weeks before we started filming, which is, is unheard of when you're making a movie. They just don't have it in the budget, and we did, and it was. I think it really helped the movie. Helped all the teenagers gel, and myself with Jimmy Kieran and I too, because we had a lot of scenes together.
Tom, how old were you, if you don't mind me asking?
I was 24.
24 years old.
Yes, sir.
And this is the very first time Return of the Living Dead. This is when they first started with fast zombies, right?
Correct. Yeah.
I read that and I was like,
fast zombies, and also it's when you find out zombies like to eat brains. There's that. Yes. One of my favorite scenes is that scene where they have her pinned down on the gurney and her spine's jumping back and forth, and they have that conversation. Why do you eat people? Not people, brains. It stops the pain of dying. So that was illuminating, to say the least. It was a great scene. One of my favorite scenes in the movie, as I said.
Becoming a zombie. Let me ask you that.
Yeah.
What was that portion of it like? Was that in the script? Like, you already knew, like, all right, here's what's going to happen.
It was a great, I start off as this innocent kid, and then I turn out to a full-blown brain desiring zombie. So for an actor to play that, it was a real, the arc of the character is so big. So it's a lot of fun to act.
Do you feel like it was two roles, because you had the part of Freddy, and then you had Freddy the zombie? Three, yeah.
In the middle, and then the end. Because I was a full blown,
Was it a little bit harder to transition into that, or was it easy?
Well, you get the script and you never shoot it in order, so I have to go by and emotionally figure out where I'm at and read the dialogue. The dialogue helps, because sometimes you shoot the end and before the beginning, and because you're already at the location, so they'll do that instead of having everybody move all the time. So that was fun. And then the scene where we're cutting the guy's head off, the yellow corpse, and he gets up and starts walking around. We shot that at 6 o'clock in the morning, so that was kind of tough. But it was a great shoot, and it still holds up today. The music's fantastic. It just people who love it just love it. It's just one of a kind.
With roles,
as I say,
with roles, like horror or any type of role, do you do something in particular to get ready for that role?
I read. I first go through it and I make notes. Whatever strikes me, I'll make a note of it. Ideas or feelings or whatever, and then I kind of use that as a base and kind of grow on that.
So you'll read a part and you'll be like, oh man, I feel kind of like this character's probably agitated at this point. Like you get to a point where you're like, oh my God, I can see what he's doing. He's agitated.
Exactly.
No, I get that. Totally get that. I'm not an actor.
Yeah.
Just play one on TV. That's it.
Yeah.
I just play one on this show. It's called Talking Shit. Yeah.
Well, you're talking some shit.
Comedy roles. You haven't done any comedy roles that
I did.
I tried to research and I didn't find anything.
Comedy. I did. What did I do? I did. What comedy did I do? Well, Return of the Living Dead, but that was more of a drama. I call it a dark comedy.
Yes.
For sure, dark comedy. And then we did part 2, which went more towards the comedy, was more obvious in the comedy. And then it was I did Mr. President with George C. Scott. That was wasn't really a comedy, I guess. No, not a lot of comedies. I'd have to go back and look at my resume to think of any comedies that I did.
Yeah, I was looking through some.
But you attack it the same way. You deal with it the same way. What makes it funny is the writing, and I think serious comedy is far funnier than shtick. So that's kind of what I do.
I mean, I would think that the writing and the acting together has to mesh, because if not, I mean, you can have the funniest person in the world read for a crime series, right? And it just not come off the same way. I like watching.
It depends on the actor. I mean, I know a lot of good actors who do comedy, and they're great dramatic actors as well. So, a good friend of mine's Richard Kind, and he was on Unsub, and he does a lot of comedy stuff. But he was great in a dramatic role, and also definitely. And people know him as more of a comedic actor, and he does a lot of voiceovers and stuff like that. But he's very versatile.
Gotcha. Have you gotten any voiceover stuff?
No, I've done a little bit, but I did the game, the Friday the 13th, the game.
Yes.
That was a little bit of voiceover work. But as actors, you kind of do that. They call it ADR or looping, because if we're talking right now and there's a plane going by and we're filming it, you got to go back in and put your voice down again, because of the sound got messed up somehow.
So there's a new game coming out.
Well,
they're going to be canceling the one from Gun Media, I think, in 8 months to a year. As of next year, December 31st of next year. December 31st.
Yep, that's when everything goes dead for it. The server, the servers are already, But have you actually played the game?
I have.
Good for you.
I got it for my son.
Most actors would have said, "No, I don't play that crap."
I used to be a big gamer. I used to you go down that rabbit hole and forget about it. But I'm trying to get my son not to. He's heavy. I mean, he's got a computer brain. He was like, "What are you doing with your life? You're just." But he's got, it sucks all the juice out of the house.
You're like, why is the power bill $900?
I've played it. And I became myself, because I was just watching because someone had killed me, and I just wanted to see the game, and then I somehow became myself. So that was a lot of fun. And then he used to play it a lot when it first came out.
When I played it, and I still play it every so often, but 9 out of 10 times I would die easily. So I came back as you, and I had that already down pat to kill Jason every time.
Oh, good for you. A lot of people don't do it. It's a team effort, from what I understand.
You beat the hell out of Jason until his mask comes off. You make sure a female's alive to grab the yep, and then you just do it. It's real simple. Once you do it the first time, the second time's easy.
I'm waiting for you to be in the.
That's what they say about murder too. Once you get the first one out of the way, you're good to go. And a lot of other things, actually.
I was talking to one of my buddies earlier, and I told him, I said, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure that he was the voice in the video game. Like I literally thought that was you."
I was.
And I said, I think I think that
I am until December 31st.
Hey, that's why I'm saying I think the game's going to be reprised, right? It's going to be
yes.
The company's doing it. They're going to make it more realistic, I guess.
I'm hoping that they do a more of a. I'd love to see a story mode into it a little bit more than just what this is. But as long as that they can make it where it's better or whatever, I don't care.
I don't know what angle they're going to use. They haven't approached me about it, so not sure if they're going to, if my character Tommy Jarvis is going to be in it or not.
Well, we hope so. We hope to see.
Yeah, it'd be cool
because Tommy killed Jason. It makes sense.
Well, he was one of the few that did, do that. I mean, Tommy did it in, 4, 5. Well, technically 5. He wasn't. It wasn't Jason, but out of all of them, you're the most recognized as Tommy Jarvis.
Well, I think because I was the last one. That's just
I think everybody liked your character the way that you brought out. Even though when you did, bring back Jason, you ran to the police station instead. I mean,
what would you have done?
Yeah,
I would have left town. Screw that.
Been here before.
Mark would have ran upstairs.
Tommy feels a little responsible, unlike some people.
I talked to Tommy McLaughlin. And I mean, he was telling me stories, and I loved it. He's one of those type of people that he could tell you stuff, and you're like, wow. Especially some of the stories that he'd love to put into Friday the 13th.
Yeah, he was certainly the driving force behind Part 6. I mean, it's a great story and how he brought him back, and Tom's a big fan of the old school horror, so that was good. I just saw him about a week ago. Is it last weekend? No, on Monday night they had a screening of a 35 millimeter print here in town. So we did he got people from the film that I hadn't even met, because I did some, you don't always see everyone that's in the film. So I was able to, like the 2 kids underneath the bed in the cabin. What were you going to be when you were going to grow up? What were you planning to be when you grow up? Those guys were brothers, and they were both at the event. So that was a lot of fun. And then, a couple other people.
How about, let me ask you this one. Between the 2 major roles for these 2 horror films, if they said, hey, we're going to bring you back and you get to pick one, Freddy?
In the studio? Yeah, you can't touch Return of the Living Dead, so it'd have to be Jason Lives.
Okay.
That's
so if they figured out a way to bring back Freddy in Return, would you not do it?
He'd be a zombie, I would think.
The whole time.
Some people suggest that I come back as James Cairn, my boss, and if they were to do that. Funny enough, he's the same. I'm the same age now that he was when he was making the movie, so that's interesting. Hey, Mark, Brian,
Mr. Matt, Maurice, there you go.
What's happening, bro?
Have you? I'm going to cut you off for once.
Go ahead.
Have you wanted a role, but either had to turn it down, or you just didn't get it? Something that you wanted.
I bet I was coming off, had finished filming Return of the Living Dead, and that was from Himdale. So I met with Oliver Stone at his office, which was over at Lionsgate, and he was editing. He was editing Salvador. If you haven't seen that movie with James Wood, it's a fantastic movie. Well, he was editing it. So I had a meeting to be in Platoon, the Charlie Sheen role. And so, I wish I had gotten that one. But that's probably one of a few that kind of hurt.
Well, let me ask you, you get a lot of questions about the two main movies that people know you from. The
Sure.
Friday the 13th stuff.
You bet.
What would you like to talk about other than that? Because I'm sure that there's got to be something you're like, you know what? Nobody ever asked me this question. What do you do for fun? Do you play golf? Do you play tennis?
I would like to play golf. I have a construction company, so that's what gets me up out of it. I've got 9 employees, and we do high-end residential.
Cool.
People work for a lot of celebrities and friends, and so that's do that. It's very, very creative. It's not just like cookie mill stuff. It's usually all custom stuff, screening rooms. And I did the Ozzy Osbournes, when they were on MTV. That's how long ago we did their house.
Okay.
We cast one of the many things we did. We cast their daughter's fists, Kelly's fists in bronze, and made them the front door hinges. So
Interesting.
We had to make a mold of her fists, and those were what you saw when you walk up to the door. So that job was full of things like that. And
really cool.
It's kind of
That's pretty cool. I like that.
What's the name of the
company?
company?
Try and figure out how to do stuff because it's always new. I couldn't do a 9 to 5 in an office situation. I'm outside all the time and going from different places of LA to the other all day long, and so it's fun. It's creative.
I was going to ask you, what the heck was I going to ask? I had a question, and you asked me a question. Oh, the name of the company. I'm so sorry. What's the name of your company, Tom?
Hammer and Trowel Construction Inc.
Hammer and Trella?
Trowel, Trower. It's
trowel.
Like a hand trowel.
Okay.
For cement.
Yeah. And you are you're based out of
We're in LA, yeah.
Out of LA. So anybody watching in LA, reach out.
Too busy.
How far backlogged are you guys? Because I get it.
Now, yeah, a year and a half.
I was gonna say I get it because we've got builders like that. You have a good builder around here, and you're like, hey.
Yeah, I didn't have it. It's all through word of mouth, and people tell other people, business managers, and accountants.
Now, I like this question. I really do. Did you ever play the opposite version of your character from either two?
Opposite character.
Well, you'd be the antagonist. You'd be the killer.
Oh. Yeah.
Would you have wanted to play Jason or?
Yeah, playing the killer is fun. Yeah, I mean, I could put on the suit. Have to beef up. Have to get a really short actor to play Tommy Jarvis, though, because I need to be towering over him.
So you don't want to kill CJ, is what you're saying? You're like, yeah, no.
If he's on his knees, he's a big boy.
Who's taller? Can I ask? Is it Kane or is it CJ?
Oh, CJ by.
Yeah, CJ, a couple inches.
See, I thought Kane was for some reason. I always
he's not that tall.
Really?
He might be 6 feet, I think. Well, yeah, CJ's like 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah, it's not.
He's also massive. He's just
this way.
Yeah, they're they have their own special, unique ways with them. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and play the video.
Okay.
Just something I put together. I got bored earlier, so what the hell.
Oh, okay. Well, that was fun. The guy on the left with Jason and I was Sean, and he.
Sean
Sorry.
Lutis.
Yes.
Yes.
And his daughter played my daughter, and
Sanaya.
he was a very he was a very. We shot on his property, and he was he was in construction. He was actually building a screening room, which I'm sure they're done by now. So on his property, so that's a lot of fun. He's a film enthusiast, to say the least. Great guy.
Yeah. They told us that the church that they used for there, or lack of church, they're using in the new movie 259. So it's being used for more than just that. Which
awesome.
This is a plus. That's a bonus. I mean,
yes.
Who builds something and not use it again? I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, oh, let's build it and burn it. Pass. Let's burn something else and then pretend like we burned it down, because you're in construction, so you know what I'm talking about. You're like, wait a minute, I just built this room. No, do not burn this down. I'm not in construction. I'm going to tell you. Here's the thing. I work in sales. There's a lot of things that I do, and I'm like, you know what? Don't go backwards. Don't do it the other way. And I can tell you, I helped build the deck here on my house, and I've been flipping boards over because the boards start to wear a little bit differently, and I'm like, I am so glad I'm not in construction, because this even flipping boards over is hard. It's like, why do the grains not work the way that they're supposed to? Why do they not fit the way that they're supposed to?
The board you use, and if you don't use like an Ipe or a piece of wood that has a lot of resin in it, it'll start to work.
Well, first of all, we have to buy the wood from Home Depot, if that's any indication of what we're working with here. So.
They make a deck talk. They make a man-made decking that works pretty good.
The composite, it's like a plastic.
Yeah, it's like Trex or something.
Yeah,
one of those.
Well, he still has not told us what he does for fun, though.
What do I do for fun? I go to the horror conventions, which is a lot of fun for me.
Cool.
And I used to golf when I had time. It takes a lot of time, 5 hours. And I like to go to the beach and, go out to dinner with my wife is fun. Hang out with the kids. Go on trips, of course. Go to
I miss California. I was stationed out there in San Diego.
Oh, yeah.
When I was in the military.
In Pendleton?
No, I was at 32nd Street Naval Station, right down the street from downtown San Diego, the big convention center there. And that was a good time, because when Comic-Con ran around, the streets were just jam-packed with people.
I bet.
It's huge.
It's huge. San Diego Comic-Con is probably one of the hugest events that you'll ever Have you been to one of those, Tom?
I have. I did an appearance there once for.
Cool.
I think it was for the game, actually.
Okay.
So I was there. I was there for a couple hours, and it was massive. Think of like 10 Costco's. There's different halls and different buildings that you walk around, and it's definitely an international affair. It's huge.
And you will meet a lot of really great fans out there, I think, because they come dressed as their favorite characters.
Yes.
90% of those people in San Diego are like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Peter Anthony.
We have Peter Anthony in the.
Hey, there he is. Hey, Peter. I'm good, man. Hope you're well, brother.
Yeah, I love Peter. He's a great guy. He was the very first one that I ever had as an interview.
Hey, Steven. I saw it.
Oh, you saw our interview with him?
No, I saw Steven come up on the screen.
Oh, okay.
Give him a shout out.
Cool.
Yes,
cool.
Steven is where I first got my first start at. I was on his podcast. I was helping him out for a while, and then I decided I was
inspired to do your own.
Yes, very much so.
In a sentence.
We were just sitting around one day, and he was like, "I just want to talk shit with people," and I was like, "Okay, well, there you go. That's name.
A great name for it. Yeah, let's talk shit.
That's it.
Talking shit. Awesome.
So let's talk food California style.
Okay.
Shall we, real quick? How do you feel about food? I when I was in the Navy, was 113 pounds going in. Leaving the Navy, I was 195 pounds. I am married happily. Been married to my wife for 20. Oh my God, she's going to shoot me. Please don't pull the gun. 26 years.
Wow. Congratulations.
We've spent time in California. She has stolen some of those ingredients that you guys have in California to make carne asada, real carne asada, because we don't have that here in Florida.
Ah, gotcha.
Can you describe carne asada to people in?
I can't.
No, you're not a.
I like eating it. I don't. I eat a lot of. I like to cook.
Okay.
Mostly out of necessity. But I'm half Italian, so I grew up in like Italian food and things like that. I like a good steak once a week, probably at least.
Oh yes.
And then, so I do that. My kids we have a garden and grow cherry tomatoes and make marinara sauces for the pastas and things like that.
Okay.
So
nice.
In-N-Out Burger. In-N-Out Burger. Fan or not a fan?
Definitely a fan.
Me too.
Animal style.
Animal style, yes.
Double animal style.
Okay, so first time I was introduced to In-N-Out, I had a single animal style. Okay. My friend then said, "Oh, you didn't know about the secret menu." I said, "What the hell are you talking about?" And he says, "Well, you know that it's burger, cheeseburger, double cheese, and so on and so forth." He goes, "You can get a 10 by 10."
You can, yeah.
I said, "What's a 10 by 10?"
You can get grilled cheese sandwich without any meat in it at all if you want.
Oh, hold on. What's a 10 by 10?
Yeah, you can get a 4x4. You can get.
Oh, a 10 by 10, which I ate.
10 burgers. 10
it's 10 burgers and 10 pieces of cheese,
That's
animal
right.
style, and they lay it in a box and.
Sideways because it doesn't stand up.
It is the messiest thing that you'll ever eat, but I'm telling you right now, you'll love every single bite of it.
Yeah.
Minus the cheese, it sounds good.
Stuff. And their fries are great. And,
yes.
Animal style.
Animal style. Do you do the fries animal style?
I've never had the fries animal style.
You can get them animal style.
What does that entail? Is that your wife?
My wife is
Climbing in.
She is.
She's the one that's giving him all the questions.
No. I'm what
is fries animal style? Is that with onions and grilled onions and cheese or?
Yeah, the sauce, the cheese, and the sauteed onions.
Yeah.
All together, and you have to eat it with a fork. There's
bet.
no other way.
It's messy. Sounds delicious.
It is absolutely fantastic. Jack in the Box. Fan or not a fan?
Yeah. They're all good. I'd go to In-N-Out over Jack in the Box, but I like Jack in the Box.
Well, so we don't.
I love Taco Bell. I love Piquito Mas. Did you know they had a Taco Bell, I think, weekend in Vegas?
No.
So you go into the room, from my understanding, and it was all the pillows were tacos and the sheets were like tamales.
Burrito shells.
Yeah, and the room service was all the Taco Bell menu.
Okay, now I'm looking this up. This is great. This is fantastic.
That sort of sounds like an interesting way of going.
Yeah, people love Taco Bell.
Well, I bring these things up, and it's simply
your wife brings them up. Go ahead.
No, it's me. I swear, I like food. I'm fat. The reason I bring these places up is because we don't have In-N-Out. We don't have.
It's hard to explain.
We don't have a Del Taco. Del Taco is where you go when you're drunk. Let's face it. You don't. You go to Taco Bell to get tacos. You go to Del Taco because you're wasted and the line's long over at Taco Bell. Jack in the Box.
Jack in the Box. I've been there many times.
We don't have these places here.
Yeah. But we don't have the Waffle House out here.
You're not missing anything, I promise.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I would give up some stuff that we have over here.
Yeah,
to,
I'm sure. Yeah,
You
well,
know?
you're not getting in and out, so you can forget. We're not going to trade you on that one.
Texas is as far as they go.
Yeah, my wife says Texas is as far as they go out, so they come all the way over to Texas.
Give it time; they will venture out.
No. We've given it time.
The first one was here in SoCal, in LA, I think. It was over on, forget, but it originated here. Oh, also Fat Burger too. You know, they originated here. You don't have those.
We don't have those either. We have Whataburger. You don't have that one, I don't think.
No, it's only in it hasn't left over into that part. It's just like from Michigan straight down to Florida over.
Yeah.
So my wife has a food truck, and what I was getting to on this one is, so she stole the recipes for carne asada.
Steal them. I use my own.
She makes the best carne asada that I've ever had in my entire life. And I miss California because, I lived in San Diego. We used to drive down to Lemon Grove. Lemon Grove was a nice little town that had a giant swap meet. And you'd leave the swap meet and you go to this place called El Pollo Grill. And you would get a giant burrito. I mean, this thing weighed 3 pounds, dude.
Right.
3 friggin' pounds.
Massive.
They were cooking turkeys on spits right there in the window.
Wow.
And that's what drove you to go into the store, because you're like, holy crap, what is this?
Turkey and a spit. Never seen that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, a chickens. Whole chickens. Yeah. It was goofy. Chicago's delicious food. Okay, where is that? I don't want to go to Chicago.
Oh, they got some places around here that probably does shit food too.
Best parts of California, in your opinion, what do you think?
Oh my gosh, such a big state. There's so many great places. San Francisco,
San Francisco Zoo. Have you been?
Big Sur, I haven't. Big Sur, Montecito, Santa Barbara's great. Northern California is great.
Mm-hmm.
It's any place, anywhere on the coast. Laguna, Dana Point. That's south.
Laguna Seca. You guys have a giant raceway there, Laguna Seca, for motorcycles. Have you been to Monterey County?
I have been through it, I believe.
I think that was the Bubba Gump's origination destination.
Okay.
They filmed part of that movie out there. I think it was the boat. It was actually the boat scene, I think, is what they had, the shrimp and boat scene. And that's why they put that restaurant.
The boat goes.
Yes, where he jumps off the boat, he's like, Lieutenant Dan. Yeah,
Awesome.
that I remember as being told that was filmed out there, and that's why they put the destination restaurant there for Bubba Gump's Shrimp Co. So, didn't know if you had been down there. Monterey County is beautiful. It's a very small county. The zoo. You got to check out the zoo. We went to the zoo, to the San Francisco Zoo, and it was absolutely amazing. So,
fantastic.
Right, San Francisco Zoo, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
You lived in San Diego. Why didn't you just go to their zoo?
No. San Francisco Zoo, because who was it was hosted. Somebody hosted something out there. It was like part of a nature documentary, and it was absolutely amazing. We went right after that documentary, and we got to see where everything got filmed, and we were just absolutely amazed. It's one of the larger zoos out there.
They also have a nice theater district in San Francisco too.
Yep.
Beautiful.
A lot of things are better in California, man. Except the taxes.
Yeah,
for the prices.
The property taxes are steep, and just about everything else.
That's
our sales tax is almost 10%.
Oh my god!
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're at 6%. So thank you, Florida. Thank you, Ron DeSantis, for keeping us at 6%.
Our property tax is 1.5% of what you paid for the house when you bought it. It doesn't go up every year because there's a Proposition 13 out here that's been out here for years. So because they would raise it every time your house would increase in value.
Right, 'cause they do
So
assessment.
Proposition 13 stopped that, and whatever you pay for the house, that's what your property tax is. See that? So if you paid $1 million, you're paying 1.5%
Oh,
of that. So it's about $1,500 a month just in property taxes.
Damn.
we have some of us are able to do homesteading, so we're able to do. Once you're locked in, you're basically as long as you live in the house, you're locked in at that tax rate at the time. So
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing. It's kind of the same thing. Proposition 13, whatever you bought the house at.
Gotcha. What kind of car you drive?
I have 3 vehicles. I have a dump truck for my business. I have a contractor's truck for my business, and then I have a Tesla that I got for date night because I was tired of driving my truck.
Did you get the upgraded Tesla that drives itself kind of car, or
I didn't pay for that. No, I don't really trust that. So I barely do the self-driving thing. When you're on the freeway, you can hit the, drive you, and you can.
Oh, just wait. They're gonna have something out there where there's a murdering Tesla driving around just killing people.
Something AI is going to do.
Tesla's all AI now. So
I mean,
Yeah.
they on their own.
question just came up. Do you get regular air or Tesla air in the tires?
Not sure.
I don't know. This is from the wife. I don't know.
I don't know. I've never.
All right. She's laughing.
Put air in the tires. I thought they inflate themselves through Tesla through the app.
Oh my goodness. You just set me up for nothing, right?
Yes, you did.
You set me up for failure. She said air is air. There's no such thing as Tesla
There
air.
you go.
Thanks. I thought this was a joke. I thought it was
You
like
asked
fun.
me to sit in here.
Oh, get out here. Leave.
That's all I know.
So projects. What do you have any film projects coming up?
We've got the Never Hike Alone. It's going to come out on Never Hike Alone 2. It's coming out on in October on Friday the 13th.
Oh,
Nice.
You guys know
who all was on this project with you?
that. Well, Vincent
bunch of
DeSante is the creator of Womp Stomp Films, and Vinny Guastafaro, as I said, the deputy Rick Colon. He's in that.
Your favorite character, right? Rick Colon.
Yeah, he's now the sheriff of the town.
Oh, goody.
And Vincent played Jason when he could, because he's kind of a big guy. And you should see the trailer right now. It's on YouTube.
Find it.
For Never Hike Alone 2.
Okay.
There's a kid in the opening who looks like Tommy Jarvis from Part 4. And that's the teaser. That's the trailer. And it's a dream sequence. And then someone comes walking out, and it's me, and I'm kind of basically talking to myself, my younger self. It's a pretty good opening, and then it kind of shifts. I wake up and stuff. And then Go Away is supposed to be coming out. Movie I did. Yeah. I can't wait to see it. The effects are great. Vincent's just he's like he's a huge Vincent DeSante. He's a huge Friday the 13th franchise fan. So he's like an encyclopedia, knows everything, and he's a great writer, great director, great filmmaker. So it's been a privilege to work with him.
Good deal.
And then Go Away's coming out. That's a horror movie.
What's that one about? Just a little snippet.
That one is about these masked murderers. 5 guys. They pick a house at random, and they do mind games with people, and they end up killing everybody in the house. And they make a mother choose which child she wants to live, and she can't choose. Well, you got to pick one, and they end up killing them all. And that's how the movie opens. And then they pick another house, my house.
Not such a good idea.
Tuesday nights in it. We're newly married, And so she's got children and I don't. And so they just find out that we got married and it seemed kind of fast. And then Felissa Rose is her.
That's how I knew it. Yes.
Her sister, which is my sister-in-law, and she proceeds to drink and get loud and brings her daughter and gets into some trouble. So there's a lot of family dynamics, and there's a big twist at the end that gets revealed.
You were in it the whole time.
Yes.
You didn't die.
That's not the twist.
No, that's what I know.
No, quite honestly, when they were doing the thing, the day that Vengeance aired on YouTube, Vengeance 2, I should say, they were talking, about this, and all of a sudden it was Sean said that there's a twist, or there's a special appearance at the very end that everybody should be, and I'm like, okay. So the only thing that I can think of was at that time I said, well, Tommy has to be in there. If his girls are in it and they're in trouble, he's going to come to the rescue.
Right.
And when I seen that, I had the biggest smile on my face. It was about midnight when I was watching it, but I was smiling. I loved that movie. It was one, it's like, I like a lot of the fan Friday the 13th because, one, we don't get movies of Friday the 13th or until just recently.
They had the lawsuit.
Yeah, that lawsuit that took forever, that killed the game and then stopped all, a bunch of stuff. Anyways, now that it's over with and, they're playing nice together, we're going to get new stuff. But with a lot of the fans and, a lot of the people that were making them, they were really good. I mean, Never Hike Alone. Even I wanted to see what Jason would look like in the snow, and I got it with Never Hike Alone in the Snow, or Never
Hike in the Snow.
Yep. But when I first seen you apprise your role, I was like, wow. I said, I wonder, what they had to do to get you to do that. Because at that time I really didn't see anybody coming back to reprise their roles, and then
Well, I got involved. It's a funny story, but a friend of mine who's a writer, I've known him for about 40 years. He had an acquaintance, and he found out that my friend knew me. So he was like torturing him. Will you please introduce him? He's fanboy on him. So my friend finally called me, and out of desperation, goes, "Will you please, have dinner and meet up with us? Just say hi to this guy because he won't stop, hounding me." I said, "Is he nice? Does he have any knives?" He goes, "No, he's a perfectly nice guy." So it turns out that he was Barry J. He was executive producer of Never Hike Alone. So during the course of our dinner, there's a group of people. He goes, "I'm doing a fan film for Friday the 13th. You think you want to be a part of it?" And I'm thinking, "Oh, Jesus. There goes I've really hit rock bottom," because I've seen fan films. I said, it's I was being nice, and I said, "Yeah, sure, send over the script." I had no intention of doing it. And he goes, "Well, they've shot half the movie. They've been going up every weekend for the last 4 months filming." I said, "Oh, great. Even better. Send it over." So he sent it over to me, and the kid was great in it. The production value was great in it. The story was very topical. A guy raiding hiking trails and on a GoPro seemed very current today. And he comes across a trail that's not on the map and goes to the cabins, and the rest is history. So we found a place where I could, come in at the end, and that's how it happened. I was mostly because of the production value was amazing in the story. I thought it was very today, very current, and Andrew was great in it. The guy who played Kyle.
If it wasn't for the Never Hike Alone, I probably would never even gave some of the other ones a shot, like Vengeance 2.
It raised the bar really high for other fan films.
Even Roseblood. I mean, I like Roseblood with the twist with it. Yeah. I mean, picking it up 30 years later, and then throwing Michael Myers in there.
Was another
but
that one.
Oh, yes. Jason Rising. Yeah, that one I've seen that one. It was like that one was pretty good too.
So, where do you want people to follow you, Tom? How do you? I know you got the business.
I have. I'm on Instagram, Thom.Mathews, and then I also have a fan page on Facebook. So if anyone wants to follow me there, that would be great.
You're not doing TikToks?
I don't do no.
Some people just don't. So.
Listen, do you watch any of the TikTok people?
Not really. I haven't.
Oh man,
Brian sends me.
You're busy.
He plays the young Jason. I mean, young Tommy in Never Hike Alone 2. I think he's a horror Stevie is his handle at I think Instagram, horror Stevie. And he's a big fan, and that's how he became involved in Never Hike Alone 2, is because him and Vincent, because he was following in, and he posted a lot of stuff with his Jason mask on, and he's a great little kid. So it's funny how Vincent DeSante, the director and writer and creator of Never Hike Alone, he was a kid and he lived by a lake and he lived on the forest, and Part 6 was his favorite, and so he grew up with that. And his dream was always to do a Friday the 13th film. And here we are. I mean, he met me and I met him, and it's just dreams do come true. He's really passionate about it, and it's a great filmmaker, and
Mine is to be in one of the films and just to be, I'd kill me off or make me survive. I don't care. I just want to be in one. That would be cool.
You know, a lot of people. I was filming. You reminded me. I was filming Jason Lives. We shot that in Georgia, a little town outside of Atlanta called Covington, and it was probably during about halfway through the shoot, about 3 weeks into it, and we're all just kind of waiting while they were setting up another scene. The camera's moving into a different location or whatever on the same campground, and this kid comes over to the camp where we're sitting around. He goes, "Excuse me." He's like 12, 13 years old. Is Jason around? I said, I think he's getting ready to shoot. Can I help you with something? He goes, yeah, could you ask him if I leave my window open tonight, would he come in and kill me?
Come on, that would have been me at that age.
True story.
What?
Yeah,
that's just. I mean,
I think that's why.
A bit of dementia.
Yeah, something.
Yeah, there's something going on there.
I think that's why the MPAA was really hard on rating Friday the 13th.
Yeah, but the Friday the 13th Part 6 that you were in, that was the only one that didn't have. Well, no, not the only one, but was the first one that did not have nudity.
Mark's all about some nudity. I swear.
Well, no, I mean, I did not realize that. I did. No, quite honestly, I did not know about that until Tommy LaCoughlin told me. He said that was the first one, and it was,
I think there's I don't think there's any blood either. There's no blood in it.
I don't think so. I don't remember seeing blood.
Sex sells. Dan O'Bannon, God rest his soul, he told me, if I would have known so many women were going to like Return of the Living Dead, I would have had you naked too, along with Linnea. I said, well, thank God.
Well, let me ask you a question. If that film, if that franchise would have grown as big as the Friday the 13th franchise, do you think that you would have said, hey, you know what, I'm going to come back, reprise my role? I know we talked about that a little bit earlier, and you said
if it would have been more like the first one, for sure. Not like the second one.
So if there was a prequel, though.
Third one, but I understand it's very good, and it's almost a standalone film. So I'm definitely going to see it. Yeah.
And your thoughts on Freddy versus Jason?
Moneymaker.
It was. It was.
Now,
funny.
do you think you should have been in it? Do you think your character, Tommy Jarvis, should have been in there, like with take Nancy from Nightmare on Elm Street, both of you being in there and taking care of business?
Could have been. We could have gotten married and had children.
There's a whole lot of shoulda, woulda, couldas, huh?
Those would have been some messed up kids, though.
Before we wrap the show up, there is a question.
Okay.
Would you consider doing another Friday the 13th fan film as an evil, crooked version of Tommy Jarvis? Evil and crooked, come on, man.
That sounds like fun.
Actually, that does.
I could go mental after. I think he'll always be obsessed. Tommy will always be obsessed with Jason, and I think it destroyed his marriage, affected his kids.
It's friendship with.
He loses it. So send the script over.
Yeah, I mean, just listening to stuff from the game. He's already lost his mind and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's like he's dreaming all this up or something. So
you heard what he said. He said send the script over. So Flashtainment Productions. I'm not sure who that is.
Somebody that follows us, hopefully.
We'll be talking.
If you're not following us, we can't give you Tom's email address. So
I don't give it anyways.
Well, if
they want it, they'll have to get it.
It's okay.
Hey, they have to get it the same way I did. They have to beg for it. Oh.
Did CJ give it? Did CJ give it to you? What did you get?
No, you gave me it.
You reached out to me on Messenger?
Yep, I messaged you, and you were like, "Sure, why not?"
Yeah.
I'm like,
Mark
okay.
didn't message you. Mark bugged you because that's
no. Oh no. Believe it or not, I messaged him once on Messenger. He gave me his email, and then I messaged him over there, and he said, "Well, we'll have to work out on the dates," and because he was overseas for some movie or something, and that was it. I was like, "Yeah, okay." Escape from Hell.
Yeah, I like the name of your podcast.
Thank you. That's why you came on the show.
Did your wife think of
it? She was one of the reasons why we did talk. We did.
Listen, we were sitting around the table thinking of names, and it was going to be email.
Oh, come on, no,
Cindy, because there was a whole thing where my wife owns a food truck, and this whole fiasco came up where she's been trying to get into this brewery. And they were like, "Oh yeah, all you got to do is email Cindy." Well, she's like, "I've emailed Cindy. I'm fucking over it." So I'm sitting there one day, and we're talking about the podcast, and she goes, "Yeah, you should just name it Email Cindy because that's what everybody fucking keeps telling me." And I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah.
This is Jason Brooks.
Hey, Jason.
But we were sitting around and we were actually talking about different names and
then we just came up with talking, and then all of a sudden we just
talking shit. We're just what we want to do. We want to talk shit with people. And the thing is we hate it. We started off, we were like interview, and my wife's like, stop interviewing people, just talk to them. So I hope this didn't feel like an interview. We wanted it to feel more open for you. Wanted to feel more open floor plan, I guess you would say, when you're building a house.
It's been great.
So,
thank you. Thanks for having me.
No, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it.
Can't wait for future stuff.
Yeah, we can't wait to see the future stuff. The Never Hike Alone 2.
October.
Never Hike Alone 2. And then
Go Away.
Go Away is really good.
From what.
This is going to be something Mark and I are going to watch together, I'm sure.
Yeah, cool. If the script if Go Away is the movie's as good as the script, it's going to be great.
From what I've heard about it, yes, it looks really good.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Flashtainment Productions. Obviously, they want to get a hold of you.
If it's okay with Tommy, I'll give Maurice your email.
Cool. Sounds good.
All right, Maurice. I'll
hey guys.
I'll message you later.
Well, Tom, we appreciate your time today. Is there anything before we let you go that you want to talk about?
No, I just hope the strike gets over. All
Yes.
the strikes. They're thinking September, but I'm thinking January. So
No, I'm thinking next year at this time.
yeah, I don't think
And
that long, but
Well, they're talking about AI doing movies now, and I'm not a fan of that at all.
yeah,
AI could do a lot of things, but I don't think that they can mimic what it's like to lose somebody, to love somebody, to
Can't show the emotion.
yeah.
Actors.
yeah.
Hey.
I mean, AI is good. AI is good for making
I'm
certain
not worried about
things.
the movie stuff. I'm worried about the World War III because of AI. That's what I'm worried about.
Oh yeah,
I could see that.
Good time to move to Montana. Or, that's where CJ lives.
what are you talking about? I've been building a bunker in my backyard for 3
There you
years.
A bomb shelter. I was considering building bomb shelters for people in.
Oh, you'd make millions.
in
You'd make millions, I'm telling you, especially like in the hills.
24-inch
Hollywood Hills.
concrete walls.
Uh-huh.
I could see that.
You got to get a telescope so you can look outside and see if it's safe or whatever.
You got to be careful though. I've been looking outside lately. There's a whole lot of weird shit going on. The other night, it looked like a planet was falling. I don't know if anybody else saw that.
Wow.
It literally looked like Mars or something underneath the moon just dropping. And I was like, what the hell is that?
Brian, you need to leave the drugs alone.
That was no drugs.
That was no drugs. I called my wife out. I was like, come here, look at this. And she was like,
you didn't have time to get it on video?
No.
Cool.
And then I saw the stars that crossed the sky like 6 months ago. I was like, Santa Claus has already left. That was Starlink, I think, right? Going across the sky.
Yeah.
That was wild. I was like, holy shit. So.
Okay, fellas, enjoy the rest of your evening. Thanks for everyone for tuning in, and we'll
Thank
see
you.
Thank you, Tom. Appreciate you.
Guys.
Have a good night.
Take care.
Thanks. Bye.
Well, there you go, Mark. You got a really good interview there. And I hate to say it, it was an interview.
Yeah, yes, it was an interview, but
people. Let them fucking talk.
well, it was one of those ones that I wanted to try to get some things asked, but all in all, yes.
We have Portillo's hot dogs here in Florida, and I couldn't understand how to order. It looked like you walk into the restaurant. Portillo's,
Where
Tampa.
Okay.
Remember the place?
Oh yeah. That's that place.
I walked in. I grabbed the menu. It looked like there was a host. He was like, "Have you been here before?" I was like, "No, I've never been here." He was like, "Okay, well, you take a menu, you figure out what you want, you walk up to like this cafeteria line looking thing, and you order your food there." I'm not sure. And then they bring it to you, I guess. But I'm in. I'll try it. I'm not gonna lie. I'll try it. I don't want to go to Chicago to try it though. Like Chicago has really good deep dish pizza. I've had it in Chicago and it's fantastic. I've had it here in Florida. It's absolute trash. I've had it in California. It's garbage. So this is, people are like, oh yeah, it's Chicago deep dish. And it's like all bread and it's like this fucking thick. There's no toppings. There's no sauce. The hell are you doing to me? Just give me some fucking bread and call it a day. Fuck.
French bread.
No, great interview, great show with Thom Mathews. There's some good stuff coming out. Never Hike Alone 2 is wrapped. That one is going to be available. So if you guys get a chance, check that one out.
October 13th.
And the one that you and I are going to watch is called
Go Away.
Go Away. Yeah, that one did sound really good. I was like,
yes.
What?
On top of that, so what are we doing next week?
Bro, next week, let's see. Is that the 27th?
Yeah.
So the 27th, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have an open mic night. We are inviting anyone that watches the Talking Shit Show to get your camera, get your computer, get your cell phone, get your microphone, and get ready. Come on the show. Talk about whatever you want to talk about. All we ask is no politics, no racism. Oh, speaking of racism.
Oh, shit.
Evidently, There's this song out there that's super
no,
racist.
wait, no, we can't talk about that one right now. We'll talk about that Thursday.
All right, fine. But if you're in the mood, go check out Jason Aldean's new song called.
Oh, it's a great song.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. What's the name of it? Do you remember?
Try
Try that in a small town.
Yep.
That's right. And where we live in a small town.
Yeah, very small.
The following week, Mark, we have Freddy Krueger's mom. Do you remember?
I'm not even going to attempt to say her name just yet. I'm going to find out how to say it.
It is Beatrice, and I want to say it's
Boapple.
Boapple.
Yeah, Apple. Well, any which way, I'll figure it out before then.
And after that one,
we have a returning guest.
Super excited about it. Mark is super excited.
I was excited when I got the email saying that he would be back on.
You were excited the very first time we got the interview, and then I watched it. And I was like, "Holy shit, this kid's fantastic!"
Yes, he was our very first guest that we ever had on Talking Shit, and we wanted him to come back on to talk about his university. We wanted him to come back and tell us some stories. We wanted him to basically tell us to shut up and let him talk.
Exactly. It is his turn. It's his show. We're just going to drive the channel for him. So
that's right. I can't.
That is Landon Harvey.
Yep.
And check him
then
out on Landon Venting on TikTok.
Yeah.
If you don't know who we're talking about, check him out.
And then we have some in the brewing, but we can't say much until we know for sure what's going to happen. But we're pretty much booked almost all of August.
It's a good thing.
Yes, very. Going to one week, one show a week, takes a little bit off, but we'll.
And if you guys are ready to come on the show, like I said, open mic night is the 27th of this month. That is Thursday. That's next Thursday. Holy shit! I'm not prepared. Pass.
Oh, this one will be.
Listen,
this one will be simple.
Mark. I'm telling you right now, the people that are going to come on the show are going to make fun of us. They're going to.
Well, you already. Hey, fucker! You already told them to make fun of me. They're not going to make fun of you.
You told them to tell me to dress up like a clown. Who the fuck, man?
Yes.
Are you guys going to have Matt and Andy on next week too?
Matt and Andy are always welcome on the show. They know that.
Oh shit!
Those guys are always welcome on the show. So, guys, get your material ready. Get your jokes ready.
Get your music ready or whatever you want. Puppets, whatever. I don't care.
I guess we're ready.
Get your buckets ready.
All right.
All right. Let's.
Thank you guys, everyone who came on tonight. Thank you for the questions. Thank you for everything. Thank you for following Talking Shit. If you're not following us on Facebook, please go to Facebook and put in
Talking Shit.
Just like it's spelled here, SHTTT. And if we hit 500 subscribers to that private page, Mark wants to give away more money. I don't know what the fuck.
We haven't given away money yet, so
you're always trying to give away money.
Yeah. But it'll be either $25 or you get to make Brian dress up as a clown. No. And his wife hates clowns. I'll tell you guys that now.
But here's the thing: we already talked about this. I get to pick what kind of clown.
Yeah, you're gonna homie, right? Talking Shit is our Instagram also.
Yep. Talking SHTTT on Instagram as well. Look for the logo. That is our new logo that was created by Ricky Burtz.
Yes.
Special thanks to him. Guys, from us here at Talking Shit, I'm Brian.
I'm Mark.
Y'all have a good night.
We're out of here.
Guess who